Welcome to LiCAS.news, and here are headlines this week. Myanmar protester dies after 10 days on life support. Indian bishop condemns killing of Dalit teen girls. Philippine government kicks out a church Catholic missionary for illegal political activities. Filipino bishop calls for unity in the wake of the beheading of religious images. Archbishop of Cebu has tested positive for COVID-19. Pakistani court rules in favor of a Christian girl enslaved by a Muslim man. High school student suicides in Japan hits record high during pandemic. Pope Francis remembers Coptic Christians murdered by extremists. And now to our stories. Protester in Myanmar, who was shot in the head last week as police dispersed a crowd, died on February 19, the first death among opponents of a February 1 coup from 2 weeks of demonstrations across the country. Mia Tuatekain, who had just turned 20, had been on life support since being taken to hospital on February 9 after she was hit by what doctors said was a live bullet at a protest in the capital, Naypyidaw. Her death is likely to become a rallying cry for the protesters who were again on the streets on February 19. February 19 marks 2 straight weeks of daily demonstrations against the military's seizure of power and the arrest of elected leader Aung San Suu Kyi. The protests in towns and cities throughout the ethnically diverse country have been more peaceful than the bloodily suppressed demonstrations during nearly 50 years of direct military rule up to 2011. A Catholic bishop in India has condemned the killing of 2 young Dalit girls on a farm in the North Indian state of Uttar Pradesh. Bishop Sarat Chandra Nayak of Berhampur, head of the Disadvantaged Caste and Tribal Office of the Bishops' Conference, described the killing of the 2 sisters aged 13 and 16 as a brutal crime. The prelate said it was an act devoid of humanity performed by a depraved mind. A 17-year-old girl, also a sister of the 2 deceased, was likewise found at the same location in Unnao district, was reported in serious condition in a hospital. The girls belonged to Dalit families, formerly untouchables under India's ancient caste system. They are considered unclean because they do menial work like manual scavenging and are traditionally ostracized. The Indian Constitution officially abolished caste distinctions in 1949, but the legacy of caste discrimination continues. The Philippine government has canceled the permanent resident visa of a Dutch Catholic missionary and ordered him to leave the country over his alleged involvement in illegal political activities. Alta Rudolf de Vries, a 62-year-old church worker from the Diocese of Rotterdam in the Netherlands, received the order on February 3 when he was about to renew his visa at the Bureau of Immigration in Manila. The order stemmed from a letter dated December 10, 2019, from the National Intelligence Coordinating Agency to the Immigration Bureau, alleging that De Vries has engaged and was actively participating in protest rallies of communist terrorist groups' front organizations. The letter indicated that De Vries was seen in several political gatherings led by the Ecumenical Institute for Labor Education and Research and the Labor Center Kilusang Mayo Uno. The intelligence agency has tagged the 2 organizations as having links with the communist underground movement. The Catholic bishop in the prelature of Isabela de Basilan appealed for peace and unity after unidentified individuals entered a village chapel and beheaded religious images. Bishop Leo Dalmau of Isabela in the southern Philippine province of Basilan urged the faithful to continue to focus on unity and to be careful not to destroy efforts to continue the cause of unity and peace. Images of Catholic saints and other religious icons were found to have been desecrated in at least 2 village chapels in the city of Lamitan in Basilan province on Ash Wednesday. An image of the Virgin Mary was also reported to have been thrown out of the chapel. The Catholic charity Aid to the Church in Need condemned the incident, saying that it is distressed with the vandalism, especially as it happened on a holy day for Catholics. The Philippines has been plagued by violent insurgencies, including a separatist uprising in Mindanao that has killed about 100,000 people. Although a landmark peace deal with the largest of the rebel groups, the Moro Islamic Liberation Front, was sealed in 2019, a number of factions continue to wage war against the government. Archbishop Jose Palma of Cebu has tested positive for the coronavirus disease, said Monsignor Joseph Tan, the Archdiocese's spokesperson. The priest said the Archbishop is in a stable condition and is under medical care at the Perpetual Succor Hospital in Cebu. He said the people who have been in close contact with the Archbishop have also been informed about the matter. The priest asked the faithful to pray for Archbishop Palma's steady and speedy recovery. Archbishop Palma is on top of preparations for the 500th anniversary of the arrival of Christianity in the country this year. Other Catholic bishops who have been tested positive for COVID-19 but have since recovered are Bishop Broderick Pabili of Manila, retired Bishop Deogracias Iniguez of Caloocan, and Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle. A 12-year-old Christian girl in Pakistan who was shackled and enslaved by a Muslim man is now back home after a stunning court victory. The district court in Faisalabad ruled on February 16 that Farah Shaheen should be allowed to return home after declaring that her marriage to 45-year-old Khizar Ahmed Ali was invalid. Farah was reportedly forced into marriage by Ali, but the court said the union was not registered with local authorities. The girl was also found to be only 12 years old. In December, police discovered Farah in Ali's home with wounds to her hands and feet. The Catholic charity Aid to the Church in Need reported that Farah had an emotional reunion with her family where she now lives with her 5 siblings, her father, and grandfather. Farah's case made the headlines amid reports that police had bungled an investigation to discover her whereabouts after her father reported her disappearance back in June. The number of young people committing suicides in Japan severely increased in 2020 at the height of the coronavirus pandemic. The ministry report said juvenile suicides rose by 140 compared with a year earlier and were over twice as high in August alone at 64 cases. The ministry said the main reasons for juvenile suicide remain to be poor academic performance and uncertainty concerning future careers. Father Marco Villa, Secretary General to the Pontifical Institute for Foreign Missions, told Asia News that the problem of suicide has been growing among children. The priest said the main cause of the deaths is bullying. Pope Francis honored 21 Christians who were killed by the so-called Islamic State in Libya in 2015. In a video message on February 15, during the 6th anniversary of the killings, the Pope called those who died witnesses of Jesus. They are our saints, saints of all Christians, saints of all Christian denominations and traditions, the Pope said in his message. Pope Francis said that the 21 Christians who bore witnesses to Jesus Christ were ordinary men who went abroad to support their families. The Coptic Church declared the murdered men to be martyrs, and their feast day is observed on February 15. Although not officially proclaiming them saints, Pope Francis also called the men martyrs in the days following their death. And that's all for this week. From Holy Cross Parish in the Diocese of Novaliches, I'm Shirly Benedictos for LiCAS.news, your independent Catholic news source in Asia. For more stories, visit our website and subscribe to our YouTube channel.